Hey, welcome back everybody. Today I'm just going to kind of go through and show you how I built this covered bridge. It's all scratch built. Um, it's for automobiles, HO scale. I didn't build it for trains or anything. Um, but it turned out really nice, I think. I haven't built bridges in a long, long time. That's how I got started back into trains really bad, was building bridges and selling them and buying trains and stuff like that. And then once I moved over here, um, I'd started a big bridge, a couple bridges, these two bridges actually, my two big ones. And was like, well, I'm gonna build me a layout and put them on there. And I haven't built any to sell since then. So I'm trying to get back into it, make a little extra money if I can to maybe pay for some of this again to see if I can do it. Um, hopefully there's still a market for it. And also I built another Tennessee. That one's going to be up on eBay here. So I hope you all enjoy. I want to show you what I've been doing here lately. I've got a lot of stuff I've been doing, I guess. I've been building this here. It's all scratch built. It's a 80-foot long to scale, HO scale covered bridge for automobiles. This took me a good while to get it built. Like I said, it's all scratch built. I had to hand cut all the lumber for it and everything. So basically the only things I used for it, I started out with the Lowe's and got this craft wood planks. I believe they're poplar. And cut them into all the strips I needed. So the underside, I got 4 main beams across there, then some cross sections. And these here are just small square toothpicks that I got. And just a number of pieces. These are like popsicle sticks with just cut down, I got tons of those. Just a little bit of everything, but I had to hand, cut everything. I used my little Blade Runner saw. That's what I bought it for, to build these bridges. And then like the siding on that thing, you go to the doctor's office, they got these tongue depressors, they're really thin. So I just cut off the rounded tips, and then I can get 4 pieces of siding out of one of these. And I just lay it down and use a ruler. And I got one of these roller razors. I just roller a couple times, it splits it really easy because it's so thin. It's almost like balsa wood. And then, cut them close to the sides and glue them all on. I use wood glue on this and a couple little spots of super glue for quick drying stuff, so I didn't have to wait on it. But mostly all wood glue, a little bit of super glue. But it's 80 feet from here to here, and then it's got about another 10 feet overhang on each end. So these roof trusses are right around 10 scale feet apart. HO scale, it's all HO scale. And basically got the idea from one I seen on the internet. I think it's in Vermont. Kinda, but I did a little bit differently. It's got the open sides here. I had to make a jig so I could get all the trusses the same. And those were cut out of this stuff here. I cut a few different dimensions out. So I'd have like, big ones here. I think those are 24 by 24 inch, or 2 foot by 2 foot. And then these, more like a 2x lumber cut down. So I can't get real small with my saw, but I can get pretty good, and glued them all on with the wood glue and let them dry overnight. And then go back and trim them and sand them all and get them all the edges, straight and everything. So it's turned out pretty good. And then it's got the decking in there, and then it's got the wood where the cars drive across, you know. If you've ever been on a covered bridge, it's kind of like that. I got a couple of, there's quite a few of them around my house here. Let's see, there's, yeah. Got one, two, four. Four I know of really off the top of my head. They're within about a half hour from here. So, took me a good while to build. I think I cut out a couple different style dimensions of that lumber to use here and there and stuff, you know. So, it took me a good while to cut all the lumber pieces out. Like I said, this thing's 80 foot, 15 foot tall in scale. So it probably got like a 10-foot opening, which is, you know, probably about the right size, I think. From what plans I found online and stuff, I got it pretty close, I think. So now on the roof, I'm probably just going to use basic cardstock. I'll put some supports in on top of the rafters after I get this all like stain it or paint it or whatever to get it to the colors I want, like the wood color. And I'm going to paint the siding, I think, like a barn red, and then weather it. And the inside will be like old dungy, I don't know, brown or whatever, I don't know. I'll see what I can find right here that looks good. I got some stains out there. I really don't want to use a stain because it won't penetrate too good, and plus I'll have that smell and take forever to dry. I've got some Minwax stains out there, but I don't think I'm going to use those. The roof will be just basic like metal roof look. That's what I'm going to go for. Not a shingled roof or anything like that. Just a metal roof. And let's see here. And the pylons, they're just like 3 pieces of 1/2-inch plywood cut to the same size and glued and screwed together. And then I coated them with, I used 20-minute plaster compound. We had to mix the water to it. I use that on most of everything. And just put about a good glob over the ground there and let it dry. And just hand carved out all the rock work. And then I just painted a dark gray for a base coat. Now I'm going to go back with a light gray and do washes and all that and make them look really, like real rock, like on the railroad over there. So these turned out pretty nice, I didn't want to do bricks because we didn't have bricks back, 100-some years ago when they built these things back in like late 1800s and, early turn of the 1900s or so. So I just made it look like rocks. And these pylons are right around 25 scale feet tall. So, but I just went online, seen some pictures. There's a website called Classic or Historical Bridges.com or something like that, and you can get some good pictures of bridges on there with sometimes like scale drawings, which helps out a lot. It's how I got like the one for my big 4 viaduct over there, and I built it from scale drawings, So I figured it was time to get back into building bridges, and I built one covered bridge a long time ago, but it was like for trains, just for fun. And it turned out pretty cool when I sold it. So I thought I'd do one for cars. It's really not much that are any good that you can actually just go buy, So I thought I would just get back into building bridges, and I start with this one. Just an old covered bridge. It's going to go up on eBay for sale or whatever. And I'm going to start selling them again. The next ones, I just wanted to do a covered bridge just to start out. I'm not going to do a bunch of covered bridges because it is quite a bit of time to build one of these, to cut out all the lumber and get it all, you got to plan it out, draw it out on a paper, big piece of paper, like a scale drawing before I build it. It kind of give me an idea of what I needed to cut and all that, you know. Like you're building a house, you know, you gotta have a something to go off of, you know, an idea. So I just put it out on paper. All my bridges get drawn out on paper to scale, at least one arch or whatever, and I go from there. I've got them rolled up, and I've got all the ones I've built saved, and the ones I've sold, I've got them saved too. That way, for some reason, if I ever want to or need to build another one like it, I can, and I just go off. It pretty much tells me like what sizes of wood, this and that I need, and all that. So makes it a lot easier when you go into building one. You don't have to just randomly throw a bunch of stuff together. So I like to try to make it look kind of real, you know. I mean, I could have done better, but once you get the roof on it, all done up, it'll look pretty darn good, I think. So I got a single arch viaduct that I want to build after this one. It's probably going to end up being about, I'd say at least 24 inches long. I haven't decided if I'm going to build a single or dual track, because the idea is to start selling these things again like I used to. I used to stay kind of busy. It does take a while to build these. They ain't like one day you sit down and build it. I've got about a week into this thing already. Probably a good 3 days of just cutting lumber and putting it together. It only took me a few hours to, you know, do the abundance here or whatever. But they have to dry really good. 20-minute plaster dries within, you know, 20-30 minutes so you can work with it, but it takes a little while for it to get rock hard, probably a day or so. So now I just, you know, get to what you see there, get the color on it, and then I'll put the roof on last. So, but that's one of the things I've been doing here lately. And like I said, I use a number of supplies. I got down my supply box that had all my wood and everything in it for building bridges. And these I got at Lowe's. I think there's like 3 or 4 in a pack for like $5, whatever it was. And I just used that Blade Runner saw. Basically, it's like a jigsaw table saw, and it works really good. It's got speed you can change, slow, fast, or and all that. It's really good. I've bought that just for building bridges. I can cut out small pieces with it. I don't have one of them small table saws. I just got that, and it's way cheaper probably than a mini table saw and all that. It just what works for me, so that's what I use. I love it. When they first came out, I bought it, and I've had that thing like 12, probably longer. I've had it good over 12 years, I'd say. But like I said, I'm gonna sell this. Yeah, I'm gonna build train stuff to buy train stuff. That's the whole goal here. Since everything's, you know, I need to make money to buy train stuff, you know. So I figured that'd be the idea. That's how I did it before. Hopefully there's still a decent market for it. I don't know. Trains are high priced now, so maybe there is. So let's just hope there is. I'll be building probably customs. I took orders on custom bridges and all that in the day. You know, that's probably been 10 years ago. I was doing that before I moved to this place and built my own layout. When I was building the big 4 viaduct over there, I was originally building it to sell. But when I got it, I moved in the middle of the construction of that bridge. And when I completed it, I was like, that thing's too nice to sell. I'm going to keep it myself. I loved it. I fell in love with it, so I kept it. And then I built a suspension bridge, which was the second one I built. The first one I started building was at the old house. And when I moved, I was like, yeah, screw it. I didn't have it all built. I just had the towers kind of built, and I was like, I just threw it away. I was like, I'm going to build something even better than I did. And the one I got now is like way better than that one was, that's for sure. So, I'll take you around and show you all the other stuff I've been doing. All right, here's my tub of goodies I use for building bridges. It's got all different kinds of wood strips in it. Anything I've cut and I've got extra I keep because, you know, I'm going to use it eventually. And I got a bunch of those cardboard tubes. And those come in handy over the years. I feel like I built a peacock viaduct model of it for a guy. And it's got the round holes that go through the bridge. And I've got all different sizes of these because I've used them before. So when I cut the hole in the bridge, I can stick that in there and gives me, you know, I cut it off to the length I need to go through the bridge, and then I use plaster and sand it all, and gives me a good base for the plaster to stick to. And I've got a bunch of those, all different sizes. I got these smaller heavy-duty ones, which are really good ones, and there's paper towel ones and all that. There's tons of different ones in there. And then I got some of my bridges that I've done over the years. Some of them rolled up in there, some of the plans, just all kinds of stuff. And then, you know, I got the sticks like that you get on corn dogs, a little skinnier, a little thicker. I got a couple of packs of those. When you're gluing stuff, clamps, clothespins work really great. And then I got some floral wire, which comes in handy once in a while. The square toothpicks. I think you get these at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. You can get them about anywhere, and they're falling out. I don't need to lose them all. These things are awesome. And then just old popsicle sticks, you know, you get from the Walmart, dollar store, or whatever. I got some sticks that are skinny, long, you know, look like 2x lumber. They probably got those at Hobby Lobby or something. Those popsicle sticks, you can get them at the dollar store, anywhere, man. Also bought me some of these paint stir sticks because they're kind of thin and they're pine. So you can cut lumber out of those too with your saw. And I got round dowel rods, toothpicks, I mean all kind of, I even got decorative toothpicks with have like the spiral ends on them, you know. Those are good for like doing like handrail work and stuff to give it a little something cool looking. And I just got tons and tons of stuff that I use. So, I mean, I got enough here. It's going to probably last me almost forever, except for maybe popsicle sticks, because I do use a lot of those. But like I said, they're easy to get and get them anywhere. But I do need to buy me some more plywood to build the viaducts. I don't have any more plywood or any of that kind of stuff. So, I've also been working on Tennesseans. This is my Tennessean. As you see, I changed the drive in. It's got the disc drivers, or whatever you want to call them. I found a red box chassis with the can motor, and I put that in there. I still need to, you know, put the decal and stuff on these like it originally had, but it's way nicer. So it should run pretty darn good, I think now. I mean, it ran good before, it just had that little wobble to it. But when I got this like last year, what I was going to use it for. I also got another one of these chassis too. It's going to go in my Commodore Vanderbilt. So it's just a River Rossi Hudson chassis. And then I'll show you what else I got going on. Alright, I built another Tennessean. I didn't video any of this build because, you know, I've already done all that and no sense in doing it again. Pretty simple build. It's all decaled already. It's all done. The only thing I need to do is rework the chassis a little bit and put it in, and then it'll be done. And it turned out pretty nice. So that one will probably be going up on eBay here shortly. I haven't touched it in about a week. I got it up to this stage, and then I started building that bridge. So look, it looks really good. I think we can see it here. There, and then the front, at the round circles around the headlight and silver around the nose there a little bit, and silver stripes down the bottom and everything like that. So 1380 is the road number. Tennessean right there. Southern, and then a little Southern badge on the back. Now also I'll have the Southern things on the cylinders there. The cylinders on the drivers. That's all done too. So that one will be for sale here very shortly. Look for it on eBay if you're interested. I'll show you what else has been going on. Well, crap, my light quit working. Go figure. That's the second one. Them things ain't a couple months old. So, all those Union Pacific train cars there, those 4-bay hoppers or whatever, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 of them, all metal wheels. I still need to put Katy couplers on them, and then my lightly weather them. These will probably just be empty loads. The other ones I did before are loaded. So these are going to be empty. So I still got tons more that I want to do. And then I did one of the gondola cars, which I want to build me a Union Pacific gondola car, or train car, a gondola train, or whatever you want to say. And that bad boy's still on the track, still runs good. But I've been converting. I used up all my metal wheels. Got those all done. And a whole lot of other train cars. So, yeah, I used a bunch of wheels. Now I'm out of wheels. So I gotta get some wheels and some more couplers. So, that's what I've been doing. And then I got this big old long train down here. It's all metal wheeled and everything. So everything on the railroad, I believe, now is metal wheels. And I want to keep it that way. No more plastic wheels. I just need a whole lot of more metal wheels. So I still got a whole lot more train cars. So, I probably got another 20 or so of these bad boys, which I need to do. And I probably got 50 gondolas of the UP ones. And then probably a bunch of other, I still got passenger cars to do. And just a bunch of other, just, you know, other rolling stock, freight cars and stuff. So that's the goal there. All right, back to the covered bridge. Like I said, it's simple to do. It's just time consuming because I had to cut everything out and then glue it together. And then I have little nails to nail. You get these at Lowe's, I think. At least I did. I've got tons of them now. 12 by 19. So they're real small. Real small. But some of this stuff I had to nail together to get it started. And then to start gluing, I made a jig to make these so they'd all be about the same size. And, you know, this takes a long time to do this stuff. I forgot how long it took. So, I'm going to start selling custom bridges again. If there's a market for it again. I don't know if there is. There was at one time when I was doing it. I mean, I sold everything that I tried to sell, and I didn't last very long. You know, I've sold a couple for $400 or $500, and they sell. You know, I did a big one, Pennsylvania's viaduct. That thing was like 5-6 foot long, almost 2 foot tall. It was huge. A Star Rock viaduct, is that the name? Can't remember. I built that. It was huge. Two tracks on it. I think I got like almost $500 for that one. Took me a while to build. It was one of the first big ones I built. And I just start building. Basically, what I do is just build smaller ones to sell. I don't get too crazy, because not everybody has room for a 5-foot bridge. So I just build, you know, smaller little viaduct type things with a single arch or something, you know, kind of cool, and sell those. And then occasionally I had a guy in, I think, Wisconsin, up by Milwaukee, I think, and I built on a 42-inch curve the Peacock Viaduct, which the Peacock Viaduct in real life is just straight, you know, it's not curved. but he wanted to put one on like a 42-inch curve style. So I took pictures, scale drawings of it, and converted it to a curved bridge. And yeah, I made some good money off that one too. I've never seen pictures of any of these installed on a layout. I don't think, no, except one. I did a couple and sold to a guy up towards Chicago area who built layouts. You know, that's what he did. And he'd built a layout and wanted a couple of my bridges, and sent me a picture of one of the bridges on one of the layouts. So that was pretty cool. They weren't big ones though. They were just, you know, smaller single arch style bridges, all hand carved rocks or bricks and everything. So I'm gonna get back on this, and then I'll come back and show you what I did, because I gotta get it all the inside done, and I want to get that done before I put the roof on it, so I can, you know, get to it pretty easy. Still not easy, but easier than it would be if it had a roof on, that's for sure. And then paint the abutments. Now I'll do a light gray on them, and then do some weathering and all that good stuff, you know. So, like I said, the outside of this bridge will be like barn red, I think. And then I'll weather it with like a watered down black or something to give it some age or whatever. So, but I'll be back in a few. All right, everybody. I got this bridge finished. I finished it yesterday. So, got the roof on. I made the roof out of cardstock. Just cut it out, glued it on with this school glue. Cut all the pieces out for the ribs and all that, and glued that on. And before I even paint the cardstock, I take the Elmer's glue, school glue or whatever, and use that to glue everything on, and even these little pieces in the sides all glued with that. Then I'll coat it with the school glue and bring the brush strokes down. Way it gives a little texture. Also seals in the cardstock, because it gets wet. It kind of does some funky stuff. So it kind of seals it all in, and just makes it easier to paint and stuff. So it's like a clear coat, but I just use that, and it gives it texture, you know, like where they had probably brush painted over the years. You know, it's got a little bit of that texture in it. And then I took some granite gray and painted a couple coats of the granite gray on it. The craft paint, like I always use. And then I weathered it. I made some like black panel liner paint that would go around the panels, you know, and then kind of work that around a little bit. Let that dry, and then I took burnt umber to give it the rust dirty look, and just use some brush effects and stuff, and wiped it off with paper towel, and that's what I came up with. So I think that looks really good. And then the inside of the bridge, before I put the roof on, I painted all the rest of the bridge. I painted the insides with burnt umber and stuff, and a little bit of watered down black. And when I paint the wood, I use the craft paint, but I use it as a wash. I don't put it on straight out of the bottle, because it's way too thick and it'll cover up everything, you know. That stuff's thick. So I take that thinner I got, or you could use distilled water, and mix it usually around half and half. Half paint, half water, stir it up real good, thin it out. And it takes a few coats to get good coverage. So, but then you don't have big globs of paint on your stuff. I'm going to do a video here soon, I think, on show you how to paint stuff with craft paint with a brush. Because you can do with a brush just about as good as you can with an airbrush. I didn't do any airbrush on this, all hand painted with brushes. And like I said, I did all the inside and everything with burnt umber, then went back with some black wash, and around the road area, you know, the places where the car's drive, you know, dirtied it up really good. Can't really see in there, but made it look really dirty down in there. And then I took on the siding, I took a Born Red, watered it down or thinned it down, and applied about, it probably took about 3-4 coats. I think 4 coats on the siding. And then I made a whitewash out of white paint mixed with thinner, and kind of whitewashed it and wiped it off and dulled down the red. And then I went with a piece of sandpaper, fine sandpaper. I went through and kind of just sanded it and you know, made the wear through spots and stuff. And one thing I did before I even painted it, I took a wire brush and just scraped down the sides of the siding to try to give it some of that wood texture. Then I put the red on and did all that. Then I went back with some black washes and kind of, you know, you can see the light and darks, and kind of aged it that way. And I think it turned out really good. And then I also sanded like through here too and got some of that burnt umber color off, and got like wear through the natural wood colors and stuff to come through. And I think it turned out pretty nice. And then the bottom side, I painted with the burnt umber, then went back with the burnt umber wash, and then back over with a black wash. And then here's the other side. I don't think my lighting's that great, but I think it's looks really cool, because I haven't built a bridge in probably at least 10 years since I started building my layout. I finished up these 2 bridges and then I built my layout. And it's almost a shame my layout don't have room for this, because it looks pretty awesome. So somebody hopefully will enjoy it. So I'm gonna list it up on eBay for sale. And then I got these weathered up a little bit. Basically, I just, you know, I started out with a pewter gray, painted on full strength, didn't thin it. I think I did a good 2 coats on that, got good coverage. And then 1 good coat of granite gray, full strength, not thinned down, over top that, and let it dry good. And then I took a black wash and just, you know, got all the crevices darkened up, and then just wiped it off with like paper towel and all that. So after I had to hand carve these. These are hand carved. I don't use no molds anymore. I don't like them. I hand carve all my own stuff now. Most of my layout's been hand carved. I started out with molds, but then I was like, I don't really like them. But that's that. So I'll be getting back into bridges, I think. Gotta support my habit somehow. And just hopefully they sell good like they did before, and I quit building them because I moved and started building my layout, so I didn't have time to build anymore. So maybe hopefully I can get back into it. I got a small viaduct, like single arch brick viaduct thing I want to build. I forget the name of it. I'm probably not going to build no big ones, at least for a while, unless somebody wants one. I've got good time in this. It took me a week or so to get this done. I probably got 3 days just building it. And it took a lot of time just to cut out all the lumber. And like I said, I used my little Blade Runner saw. I bought it when it came out, like 15 years ago when they first came out. They're really nice. I've got a couple of them now. I actually just sold one. I had an extra one. I had 3 of them. I sold one the other day. Didn't need it. I haven't even used the second one I got. I was still using the first one I got. But the one I got's got speed adjustment on it. It's basically like an upside down jigsaw. It's like a jigsaw table saw. You can control the speed on it. And it cuts really good. You can cut wood, metal, everything. I use it for everything. So it's a pretty awesome little saw. Probably one of my favorite ones I ever purchased. So I just use that instead of having like a mini table saw and spending the money for that. I really don't need that. I don't want one. My little saw does just fine. And everything I got in this is just, I use 20-minute mud for the rocks like I did on the layout. It's the powder you buy at Lowe's, a big bag of it, mix water with it. It gives you enough time to work with it. Gives you a few minutes, and then it sets up, like 20-30 minutes, enough to where you can start carving or whatever. Pretty good stuff. Better than plaster, because plaster will get rock hard fast, and it's harder to carve because it's so hard and you just break pieces off. And then regular drywall and mud sometimes takes forever to dry, and it's a little bit softer. So it's good for small brickwork, stuff like that. But making rocks, I like the 20-minute. And then the bridge itself, it's just, popsicle sticks, tongue depressors. I got toothpicks. I've got so many different pieces. The corn dog sticks, they're a little different than like a popsicle stick. I got a couple big bags of those. Just stuff I see, I pick up, that all different sizes stuff. I got paint sticks over there because paint sticks are like made out of pine and they're real thin. The craft wood I bought's popular for this, and it's real kind of thin. It's not even a 1/4 inch thick. I think it's like 3/16 or something thickness. So it works great for making small lumber pieces on my saw. I can't cut like 2x4 size on my saw, but I can get almost like a 2x8 and stuff like that, and honestly that's good enough, I think. I'm not building a house here, so I can cut it out on that pretty easily. But there's a lot of pieces I had to cut to build this, different sizes. So it took me quite a bit of time. I thought about adding some lights inside this, but I thought that'd be cool. But no covered bridge has lights, and then it's just something else you have to deal with. And I was like, nah, it'd be cool though. But I was like, no, a real covered bridge is just like this. So I figured this would be a good one to start out to sell. Be a good addition to anybody's layout, because you got the plastic ones you see online for a couple bucks. If you want something cool, you got to build it yourself. That's what I've always did. You can't get any cool bridges unless you build it, or a cool cooling tower like I got over there. I had to build it and all that stuff. But hopefully there's still a market for this, and then get back into it. So now I'm going to get the Tennessee and put it back together, and I'll show you it here real quick. It's going to be going up on eBay also. Alright, now here's my Tennessean I just finished up. Started out as, River Aussie Hudson. And then I put the trailing truck of a Pacific on it to make it a 462. Just like what River Aussie would have done. Pretty easy to do these. Just made new side skirts and shaved off the fin and stuff off the nose cone, and filled in a little bit in the back of the tender to make it, go all the way back to the back. And just an old decal set I picked up. I think I used part of a Walther's decal set, and I think a Champ decal set. I don't have any more left. This will be the 4th one I've built. I have 2. Built one for Ryan a couple years ago, and then this one, which is going to go up on eBay here very, very soon, I think. And it's all original motor in it, original everything. That's it. I've just cleaned everything and re-greased everything, and tested it and ran. Well, I didn't test it on the track yet. I'm getting ready to take it over. I got to clean the track off, got all them cars over there. I had to clean off a track, and I'm going to set it on there. It has original headlight in it. I didn't put LED in it. I just left it all original. And new brass handrails back here, so you can see. Turned out nice, I think. Let's see if we can get the light down here, get a look at it. Here's the other side. It's got the decal there, a couple of stripes. Tennessean, road number 1380. And then the front, I had to hand paint those yellow circles. Silver stripe here, silver stripes in the bottom. Southern Railroad badge there. So it looks really good, I think. So I'm going to throw it up on eBay and just see what it'll, you know, if I can get it sold. I may be building another locomotive to sell. I'm thinking about doing a chassis, maybe like an L1 chassis Hudson. I think I'll have to get a decal set. I may have enough decals, I don't know. That was a pretty easy one to build too. It's a 464, and I've got a couple of those I've built. Built two for me and one for another guy that I knew a couple years ago, did some trading with. And but you know, I built these so it looks like something River Rossi would have built back in the day and offered, you know, because that's what they did. They took Hudsons and changed them all around and did all that. So that's what I try to do. And the River Rossis are usually pretty reliable. I mean, the running gear and everything's pretty good on them, unless you get one that's really been mistreated or something. But if you get a, you know, a decent one, it usually run real good. And the motors are okay as long as you take care of them. And if you ain't happy with the motor that's in it, it's really easy to upgrade them to a CAN motor or whatever you want to do, you know. So, but this one is put together just as, say, it would be something from the factory, you know. So I got it all clean, fresh grease and oil and all that good stuff, you know. And I had to put I'm waiting for my headlight maker stuff to dry. And that's about it. Like I said, I took it over to the test track and it ran, but I haven't actually ran on the layout yet. I'm going to get ready to do that after I clean off some stuff. Everything's cleaned up on it, on the locomotive here, so it should run pretty good. I mean, for stock River Rossi. So, well, everybody, I thought I would just do a little bit of update video. Summertime, you know, we all ain't playing with trains like me. I've been doing some fishing and still playing with trains. So a little bit of what's going on here. I built that covered bridge. I wanted to show that. There'll probably be some more bridges coming, I think. I'm going to try to build a few more to sell. And then I built the other Tennessean, and it runs pretty good. It's all stock original River Rossi. No LED or anything like that. It's just all stock, except for what I did to it. Seems to run pretty good. Got it listed up on eBay. So if you're seeing this video Sunday, I put it on it'll be on eBay Sunday. So whenever this video comes out, it's probably already on there. The covered bridge has been on there for a couple days already. I haven't sold it yet. So just hopefully I can sell those and get to build another. I'm gonna build a little smaller viaduct type single arch bridge next. And let's see. Then, you know, I got some other stuff I want to build and stuff like that. Some more locomotives, Cincinnati Eastern stuff. And but I thought I would go ahead, since I've got a whole drawer of those over there, I would just throw one together and get it running pretty good and do it in Tennessean and just throw it on eBay and try to sell it so I could maybe buy me something that I really need or something like that. So, and then also converted my Tennessean, one of my Tennesseans, over to a red box chassis with the disc drivers or whatever they're called, and it's got the CAN motor and all that, so it runs pretty good. But that's about it for now. So I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.